In this tutorial, we will add concrete walls to our takeoff. Let's begin with this square area. The walls are sitting on the mat slab, so the bottom elevation of the wall is minus 12 feet, and the top elevation is plus 9 inches, making the wall height 12 feet 9 inches. The exterior wall thickness is 1 foot 4 inches, and the interior wall thickness is 1 foot. An important note, let's take a look at building section shown in S1300. The exterior walls have brick shelves. However, I will not deduct concrete for the brick shelves. Instead, I will calculate the walls as having the same thickness all the way up. Later, we will add 7-inch thick rigid insulation to account for the brick shelf framing. Filling inside the concrete form with rigid insulation will be a lot faster than framing brick shelf with plywood. Now, let's go back to S100 and start with the exterior walls. Walls are linear elements, so we'll use the linear tool. In linear element form, name the wall 16-inch thick wall, 12 feet 9 inches high. Select a color. I always use green tones for walls. Add a new group and name it walls, then click OK. Enter the wall thickness as 16 inches, the wall height as 12 feet 9 inches, and the bottom elevation of wall, which is top of mat slab, minus 12 feet. Verify that the concrete PSI and class values are correct, then press OK. You will now see a new group created with a new wall element listed in the left panel. Now, simply start clicking around the 16-inch wall. Don't worry if you can't align it perfectly with the wall in the drawing. You can always edit it later to make adjustments. Once you're done, press Escape to finish. Next, let's check the 3D model. You'll see that our building is starting to come together with the walls in place. Now, let's go back and do the takeoff for the 12-inch interior walls. The interior walls have the same properties as the exterior walls, with the only difference being that the thickness of the interior walls is 12 inches. Let's click on the linear tool again. This time, name the wall 12-inch thick wall, 12 feet 9 inches high. The group is already selected as walls, and the default thickness is set to 12 inches. Enter 12 feet 9 inches for the height of the wall and negative 12 feet for the bottom elevation. Then click OK. Next, start clicking along the wall. Once you're done, press Escape to finish. In the left panel, you'll see both 12-inch and 16-inch walls listed along with their lengths. Now, let's check the 3D model again. The square-shaped walls are already in place nicely. Next, let's go back and add reinforcing for these walls. First, let's check the wall detail in S1300. Horizontal reinforcing is number 5 at 12 inches on center on each face for both exterior and interior walls. Vertical rebar and dowels are number 6 at 10 inches on center on each face. For exterior walls, the outside rebar has a hook under the brick shelf. Since we are eliminating brick shelves, we will consider hook at the top of the wall. Interior walls have both verticals, going all the way up to top of wall without hooks. Also, both interior and exterior walls have top dowels number 6 at 12 inches on center extending into the top framed slab. To make this process more efficient, I'll split the screen so that the wall detail from S1300 is visible on the right side of the window. This way, there's no need to switch back and forth between the pages to check the reinforcing details. Navigate to the S1300 tab, right-click on it, and select Split Right. Resize the right panel to make it smaller, leaving more room for S100 on the left side. Zoom in on the specific wall detail you need in S1300. Make sure that the S100 tab is highlighted as the active window on the left side. Now you're ready to continue working with the reinforcing details while referencing the wall details conveniently. Left-click on the exterior wall, then click Rebar and select Add Rebar. If the rebar form overlaps the wall section, move it into position that you can see wall section below. Let's start with horizontal bars. First, we need to set the direction, range, and location. The direction of the horizontal rebar will be the X direction, as horizontal bars run continuously along the length of the wall, as shown in the image on the right side. The range will be Z, because the horizontal bars are stacked on top of each other, as shown in the image on the right side. Horizontal bars are considered top bars, since they have more than 12 inches of concrete beneath them. So select top as location. Now, let's add the rebar properties. The spacing of the horizontal bars is 12 inches on center, so there's no need to change the spacing. The size is number 5, so update the rebar size to number 5. The shape is straight, so S is correct. Since the rebar is placed on each face of the wall, change the multiplier to 2. Add a note for yourself. Horizontal each face. Finally, click Save and New. We are not done with horizontal bars yet. We still need to add corner bars. Corner bars connect each side of the wall at the corner. In the corner bar detail, the red lines represent the horizontal rebars on each side of the corner, and the blue L-shaped bars are the corner bars. Since the horizontal bars are placed on each face, we need one corner bar for each face. The leg value of the corner bars will be equal to the lap splice length for each side. Now, let's go back to S100 and add the corner bars. This time, left-click on the exterior walls, then click Rebar and select Show Rebars. This table displays all the rebar for the selected element. We will return to this later to copy and paste rebar. Click the plus sign at the bottom left to open the rebar form, and repeat the same process we did for the horizontal bars. Set the direction to X and the range to Z. Check the image to ensure the settings make sense, which looks correct now. Then, select top bar as the location. Spacing of rebar 1 foot is good, so there's no need to change it. Update the rebar size to number 5. Now, we come to a very important advanced part of Haqq Takeoff. Selecting the shape of rebar. Click the drop-down menu and scroll to see all the rebar shapes based on ACI standards. You can select any shape and start entering values for each section of the shape. Alternatively, you can type the shape name directly. These names follow ACI standard shapes. Haqq Takeoff also includes shortcut keys for common shapes. For example, T is for ties, L is for links, and U is for U-bars. These shortcut keys are listed next to the shape numbers. For instance, Shape 1's shortcut key is H, and Shape 3's shortcut key is V. For our corner bars, type U to select the shape. Next, we need to enter the values for A, B, and C. Since corner bars have 2 legs, we don't need to enter a C value. Haqq Takeoff also offers shortcut keys for automatic entry. Hover over the light bulb icon to see the list of shortcut keys. For corner bars, the leg values equal the lap splice length. Simply type L for both A and B values. After typing L, press Tab to move to the next field and enter L again. The L shortcut key automatically inputs the lap splice value. Now, set the multiplier to reflect the number of corner bars needed. Use the Count tool next to the multiplier and click on each corner for each face of the horizontal bars. Press Escape to finish Count tool. Since there are 4 corners per face, and bars are on 2 faces, the total will be 8 corner bar locations. Add a note for yourself. Corner bars, each face. Finally, click Save. So far, we've completed the horizontal reinforcing. Now, let's move on to entering the vertical bars and dowels. Click the plus sign again to add more rebar. For vertical bars, the direction will be Z and the range will be X. Take a look at the image on the right side to confirm that this setup makes sense. This time, the location of the rebar will remain at the bottom since there isn't 12 inches of fresh concrete below. Check the vertical bar properties in the split screen detail on the right. The vertical bars are number 6 at 10 inches on center on each face. Update the spacing to 10 inches and change the rebar size to number 6. The shape of the rebar is straight, and the length is automatically calculated. Since the vertical bars are on each face, set the multiplier to 2. Add a note for yourself. Verticals each face. Then click Save and New. Dowels are similar to vertical bars. Set the direction to Z and the range to X, with the location remaining at the bottom. Change the spacing to 10 inches and select number 6 for the rebar size. Choose shape 2 for dowels. For dowels, one leg will have a standard hook, and the vertical leg will have a lap splice plus the thickness of the mat slab. For the A value, press A for automatic entry of the standard hook. Press Tab, and you'll see 1 feet automatically entered using the shortcut key A. For the B value, the lap splice is 3 feet plus 1 foot 2 inches for the mat slab thickness. So enter 4 feet 2 inches. Set the multiplier to 2, since dowels are on each face as well. Add a note for yourself. Dowels each face. Finally, click Save. The last rebar to add is the L bar at the top, number 6 at 12 inches on center, which extends into the framed slab. When selecting the direction for this bar, don't get confused. It is similar to the bottom dowels, and its count matches the vertical bars. So, we'll set the direction as Z. Click the plus sign again, select Z for the direction, and X for the range. The location stays as bottom. The spacing of 12 inches is fine, so no changes are needed there. Change the rebar size to number 6. Then type U to select the U shape. The leg value for this rebar is specified in the section as 3 feet 6 inches plus 6 inches for the curb, which totals 4 feet for each leg. Enter 4 feet for both A and B values. The multiplier remains as 1. Add a note for yourself, framed slab dowels. Then click Save. We are now finished adding rebar to the exterior walls. Since the interior walls have the same reinforcement, select all the bars and click Copy. Close this table, navigate to the interior walls, right-click, select Rebar, and choose Show Rebars. With the rebar copied to memory, the Paste option is available. Click Paste. You can paste the rebar for walls with different heights and lengths, as Haqq Takeoff will automatically adjust the values. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.